And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend Cheap Lids. Welcome back. As is the typical Thursday tradition, we like to go ahead and unpack the news, or I guess you could call them leaks, that we receive from the 2K promotional team. I don't know, I guess, on Twitter about the content that we're getting Friday. This one is a bit of a doozy, I'm not going to lie. This is kind of wild. It's kind of interesting, too, at the same time. If you would have asked me 2 days ago, which actually I think you did in chat while I was streaming, who we were getting this Friday, I would have said probably 0 of the names that we're actually receiving in this set. There is no way I could have predicted the kind of set that we're going to see tomorrow. Mainly due to the fact that I don't think we've seen a set like this since probably 2K18, maybe 2K19. We received a few sets like this, but definitely not in 20, 21, or 22. We've never received a promotional set, especially on a Friday that's like this. I guess early on in 2K20, we received some Tuesday sets that were similar to this and contents, but yeah, not on a Friday though. It's kind of wild. So we got our first tease. We got the flash forward set. Bailey Howell, Bob Cousy, and JoJo White. The cigarette smoking all-stars are what we received. Every single one of these is on a pack-a-day diet. There is no way. When I first saw this, I was like, what is happening right now? Not only are they all 3 Celtics players, but they're all 3 Celtics players that played roughly around the same time. Way long ago. 70 years ago, right? Now that would have been the 50s, so 60 years ago. This is late 60s squads. So yeah, I mean little under 60 years ago. Wild. JoJo White was more in the 70s, I believe, but Cousy and Bailey Howell were definitely rolling deep in the 60s. Out here listening to Frank Sinatra. I guess I was going to say on headphones, but there was no mobile way to listen to music back then, so they were just bumping it in the locker room, I guess, on vinyl, dude, with those old big headphones your grandpa had. Gotta say, caught me off guard a little bit. I don't even know what to say. The one thing I will say is with this little comic book filter they put on these cards, Bob Cousy looks like Ty Debo quite a bit right now, and I just want that pointed out. I want that added to the record, Your Honor, that there's no way you can look at this right now and tell me that it doesn't look like Ty in the face. I'm sorry, it definitely does, 100%. Bailey Howell looks like he's seen some things, dude. Just look at this man. Just a gruff. Anytime you see one of your psychotic uncles on Facebook talking about how they don't make real men anymore, they're talking about somebody who looks like Bailey Howell, by the way. Bailey Howell looks like he smells like liquor and just the strongest cologne you've ever smelled in your life, and cigarette smoke, 100%. Now that being said, are any of these guys going to be good? Debatable. Bob Cousy is typically like a Chris Paul clone, so I don't necessarily think he'll be that fire, though it will be hilarious to use him. JoJo White is usually pretty good, especially early game, so I could see JoJo White being maybe not a top tier point guard, but a very good one. And Bailey Howell is entirely dependent on jump shot if he's going to be good. People are saying he's going to have the DeMar base, but I used his all-time card from not a card, but his all-time player from the Pistons, and it didn't feel like DeMar base, but I could just be wrong about that. Maybe I was looking for more of last year's flavor. Either way, they look to be good. We do have a JoJo White in the game. He actually has Paul George base, which it feels the same on the all-time roster, so I'm guessing that they're going to keep it pretty true to that. Certain exceptions are going to be different, though, with Cam Reddish upper, so very similar to Cam Reddish's jump shot from last year. 6'3", 6'5" wingspan, so he's not the biggest, but he came standard with Gold Agent 3 on his Ruby card from Season 2, so I actually think that JoJo White will be really, really solid. Is he going to be the best point guard in the game? Not necessarily, but he could be really good. Cousy and Howell, I have no idea. I tried them out in Freestyle. By the way, I'll show you how you can do that if you really want to go do that yourself. They seemed okay. Nothing crazy. Then we got the next set. We got Cincinnati's Powell, Richie Guerin, which if you remember back to 2K21 was my boy, and Wayne Embry, who is everyone's boy. I gotta say, Richie Guerin looking super rough right here. He looks like he sells washing machines. He does not look like he's supposed to be a professional athlete in any way, shape, or form. they could cast, not right now, but a younger Adam Sandler as Richie Guerin, and no one would have batted an eye in a biopic. Though I don't know who would have went to see a Richie Guerin biopic. Either way, they could have. Cincinnati's Powell is the one most people are super excited about. Wayne Embry, close second for sure. Gotta say, I went and used Wayne Embry in freestyle, and that jump shot is absolutely horrendous. That is a horrible jump shot. Cincinnati's Powell, to my knowledge, isn't in the game. Maybe he is. Richie Guerin's kind of just meh. He's very similar to like how Paul Horizon was last year. I would assume he's going to be very similar. 6'5" guard, whatever. Powell is going to be very dependent on what SIGs they give him, because he's not currently in the game, so he doesn't have a pre-selected crew of SIGs, basically. Like, he doesn't have a guaranteed jump shot, a guaranteed dribble style, etc. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. They're probably going to keep Wayne Embry roughly the exact same, which means he's not going to be very good, unfortunately. Same with Richie Guerin. He's going to be very meh. There's just too many shooting guards anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Then we got our third round here. Dolph Schayes, Don Ole, Bob Nedelicki. Look at this squad right here. This squad might be the whitest. Yeah, this might be the whitest squad I've ever seen. Truly. Dolph Schayes, look at Dolph Schayes' face, dude. Like, look at that haircut. This man was stunting back in 1955, dude. He didn't even play for the Sixers. He played for the Nets. That's wild. Don Ole, more than likely, will be a Derrick Rose clone again. At least that's what he felt like while using. Bob Nedelicki is going to be very interesting. I believe he's on the all-time Pacers team. I didn't go try him out just because I'm recording this video now, so I actually don't know what's up with him. If someone wants to let me know down in the comments. Dolph Schayes, I did try him out. His jump shot, very easy to green, but super ugly. It's very, very not aesthetically pleasing. So I wouldn't expect last year's Dolph Schayes, and I wouldn't expect last year's Bob Nedelicki either, unless they start juicing SIGs out, which they could, being that the 250K tournament qualifier 3 is on Saturday. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. I would assume some of these guys are going to come standard with what they have in the game. So Don Ole should be all right. It'll just be a way more cracked out version of Stephon Marbury or Derrick Rose, like normal, I would expect, but I could be super wrong about that. Dolph Schayes will be mid if they keep his current jump shot. Bob Nedelicki, reports are that his jump shot sucks. I don't know. And then we got the final crew right here. George Mikan, Terry Dissinger, and Cazzie Russell. Now, we do have a Cazzie Russell in-game. They're not going to keep the same SIGs for Cazzie Russell. There's no way they give him default small, which is easily the worst release in the entire game. Like, come on, look at the three names. Noah, Fred Jones, Ricky Green. There is no way they keep this jump shot. With Joel Embiid dribble style, no, I highly doubt that they're going to give a guard this horrendous of a SIG loadout at this point. There's no way. I really just don't believe that's going to be happening. So I would expect them to kind of change his SIGs. What they're going to do with him, I have no idea. Truly, I don't know. So we'll have to check tomorrow morning. I'm not even going to speculate on what they're going to do. I mean, I guess if I had to speculate on like a jump shot that they would give him, what would be a jumper that would make sense for Cazzie Russell? They typically like to keep it. You know what? I'm going to say Donovan Mitchell release. Donovan Mitchell release on quick might make sense since they just gave that to Dang too. And we could easily see that. We could see Iverson. Iverson would make sense. What is Iverson's release this year? It's just Allen Iverson. Yeah, we could see Iverson base. I wouldn't be shocked to see that one either. That's a pretty good release as well. Who else? Let's see. Let's go down to the cards. Yeah. Bradley Beal wouldn't be out of the range of possibility. Dwayne Wade wouldn't be impossible as well. Kobe base, I don't think that's likely. Tim Thomas's release, I guess, like the LaMelo Ball release is also really possible, but I actually don't think that's going to happen. That's just me, though. Could also give him the same release as, like, Havlicek. Or they can give him, like, Melo's release and really set the world on fire. I guess we'll find out. He is going to be an Opal after all, so he might be cracked. Dissinger, I have no idea. I would assume they make him very similar to Dr. J. That would be my assumption anyway. I don't know. They might give him like John Wall base, but it's probably more likely he gets Rudy SIGs like normal, which is fine because Rudy's release is fire this year. It's not quite as overpowered as it was the past couple years, but still really, really, really good. So if they make him a Rudy clone, At the shooting guard, I think he'll be fine. But I expect him to be at least like partially cracked at the level that like Dr. J is, because you can open packs for him. So they're gonna want to make him cracked for sure. That's Dissinger, man. Like he's gonna drive pack sales. They know that. And then George Mikan. Mikan sneakily, I think, is going to be the best card in this entire set. Hear me out, okay? 6'10", 7'1" wingspan. He's probably, yeah. Can he play the power forward? Oof, rough. Okay. Not only is he going to be incredibly good at mashing, his tendency should be improved, for sure. Like, the 45 shot three-point tendency is huge. Like, the spot-up three-point shot tendency at 0 is huge. It means the CPU is not going to come guard him as, like, prevalently as they would other people. And then that Devin Booker release is just fantastic. Now, I assume they give him, like, Joel Embiid dribble style. But if they give him a dribble style that's not basic, ooh, it's over. George Mikan might be that guy. He might be the GOAT, but this jump shot is fire. He also has like normal leaner if you're someone who likes to shoot leaners on next gen. Like, I'm not kidding when I say George Mikan might be the most cracked card in the set, especially just for the position that he plays. Like right now, I can tell you that George Mikan is going to be better than Shawn Kemp, which we're getting tomorrow. There's just no question in my mind that that's the case. So looking at this set, unless they touch any of these guys, SIGs, which I don't think they're going to, being they're already in the game. I don't think any of these three guys are really going to be that great. Like, Donald will be solid, but they'll be good from like a stats and badge perspective. But from like a jump shot perspective, I'm not really sure. These are the three that are going to be cracked though. Kazi, Dissinger, George Mikan from the opals. Now from the pink diamonds, I don't really know what they're going to do. They'll probably leave these guys alone, to be honest, which means they're not going to be that good. And Cincinnati's Powell might be a little bit cracked. We'll see. Wayne Embry might be left alone, and Guerin might be left alone as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do with this set in general. Either way, let's go look at the market, because you know it is absolutely burning down at the moment. Oh boy, the market, the market, the market. Now, there might be an awkward jump cut there. I'm not sure yet. The reason being I'm recording this at, what time is it, 5:50. So they could drop the actual quote-unquote headliner of the set. And I actually think they may do this, because it would be weird to have this throwback set and not have like a Wilt or like a Bill Russell or a Bob Pettit. I guess Bob Pettit doesn't really sell packs like that, but like someone with a higher profile, it would be shocking not to see that, or even like a Kareem or something. Or Jerry West. Yeah. I don't know. I would be shocked if they didn't, but I guess we'll wait and see. Regardless, I think every card is going to see a hit in value, aside from guys who are kind of immune from this happening, like Giannis. Like, they could drop the best players from the 1960s. There's no one built like Giannis, so he's not going to take really a hit, you know? Like, he'll take a small hit just because we got packs coming out tomorrow and people aren't investing in cards right now. Lonzo Ball's still kind of a bigger point guard, so, I mean, he'll stay at the price that he's at. Maybe there'll be a few more up because people are splurging, but he'll stay relatively the same. D-Rob should be okay, regardless if they drop another big man or not, because Mikan's not hurting them. And even if they drop like a Wilt or something, like D-Rob is not really going to take a hit from any of that, because he's still David Robinson at the end of the day. But if you're looking to pick him up pre-tournament, like now is probably the cheapest time you're going to be able to do that realistically. Curry's still Curry, so I don't think he's going to take a value hit, but we are getting a bunch of point guards tomorrow, so it's possible you could see a few Currys up. It just kind of remains to be seen though. Luol Deng, I think, is probably going to take the biggest hit out of any of the so-called expensive cards, just because we're getting so many cards tomorrow that could potentially be better than Luol Deng. Like, we're getting, for sure, 2 shooting guards that could be better than Luol Deng, and Terry Dissinger and Kazi Russell. Now, will they be better? I don't know. Could they be? Yes. I'm not sure if they will be, but they could very easily. I mean, dude, we don't even know about Richie Guerin. Like, Richie Guerin could be better. Like, we have no idea. That's super unlikely, but it's possible. And then we're getting Cincinnati's Powell, so we're getting another small forward that might be better than him, too. So, Deng's probably going to take the biggest hit out of anyone. We're also going to see guys like LeBron. Name-wise, he's still going to be up there, but he might take a hit from, like, your Sweat Lord guys, so his price will come down a little bit. Same with, like, Durant. Same with, like, Kobe. Even certainly MJ is not immune to this. I mean, realistically, he took a hit from Luol Deng coming out. I can't imagine he's going to recover in price when Terry Dissinger and Cassie Russell are on the horizon. Like, those are going to be big name, big boys. They're going to go for quite a bit of MT, so we could see him drop off. Shaq is still Shaq, though if we do end up getting one of those, like, you know, high-powered big men at 6 o'clock, yeah, he could probably drop in price. Carmelo Anthony is someone that I will be paying close attention to tomorrow, because I need a small forward for the starting lineup, and his defense is trash, but I don't even care. But it's the jump shot, and if these guys are good enough that they force his price down, I'm definitely going to take a look. Same with Grant Hill, but Grant Hill's already kind of cheap, so I guess it really doesn't matter. T-Mac is another guy, too. If he starts getting in buyout territory tomorrow, I'm going to pick him up. I know he sucks. I don't care. Also, he doesn't suck. He's just not, like, the most meta card in the world. But I'm going to look at him regardless, so it's all good. Other than that, I mean, there's no other versions of these guys to really knock the price down on. I think guys like Penny Hardaway are probably safe because we're not getting any huge point guards, so these guys are probably fine. It just kind of depends. Kristaps is someone to look at, too, because I feel like no one's going to have the player build of Kristaps because he is literally, like, you know, created in a lab. I just refuse to believe that Kristaps Porzingis is a real person that wasn't bioengineered. So I don't think anyone's really going to rival the things that he's able to do, being he's just not of this earth, I'm pretty sure. Other than that, interesting to look at Ricky Davis too, because we have to see what these cards are really bringing to the table tomorrow, but we could see, and we are seeing, a bunch of buyout Ricky Davises. And I mean, with the SIGs he has, if you can find a badged up Ricky Davis for under 100k, I can't say for certain that any of these cards will really be better than that, honestly. A lot of people just get fatigue on some of these cards, so they end up picking up, you know, your Ricky Davises and stuff while new cards come out because they're just tired of using them, which, understandable. We're not at the point yet where SIGs are so radically different that you can't pick up some of these cards. I will say we're on the way to that, where these cards are going to get outdated, but as of right now, you could still very easily run with Ron Artest and be fine. So the SIGs, you're not going to be playing against someone with very quick jump shots with Ron Artest, you know what I mean? So, as always, it's been your friend Cheap Ludes. There is 6 pink diamonds and 6 galaxy opals coming tomorrow, at minimum, right? Doesn't count diamonds or amethyst if there are any of those things. Doesn't count a headliner also, if there is one. I don't know. You'll already know that by the point you see this video. But if I don't pull a pink diamond tomorrow, I'm just going to know that Gaia doesn't want me to have one, dude. I just know that from the bottom of my heart. At this point, like, if I see the odds any lower than, like, in an ideal world, they'd be like 10% or higher, but if I see them any lower than 5, I'm going to be upset. Like, and you should be too. There is no reason that PDs should be lower than 5% right now. Like, I think the highest they could possibly go is 8%. The lowest they could possibly go is like 3 or 4%, which would be trash. Watch them be 2%, dude. I'd be so mad. Anyways, have a good night, you guys. Peace.